All right, we are live. So it is your boy Flex Washington.
And it's the shooting star.
And as you can see, I got my good, you know, very ready for work because apparently we got to put our Sunday best and our Monday, you know, on the side of the water cooler outfit because people making moves, big money moves. Like money moves that I can never even imagine.
Millions of dollars, millions of dollars.
Billions of dollars. Just be with a billion.
Mm.
Like what are we doing? Like I'm just happy to get a little check. Now I mean a little 2,500 check, whatever. They talking about we want billions. Okay. Y'all do that. Y'all get y'all billions up. Because apparently y'all in debt by 100, 200, 300 million. So we'll see. We'll see what happens
Not
with that.
for
But
long.
right, not for long, exactly. So let's just jump right into it. I mean, look, what we have right here is basically the ultimate the ultimate coming together, ESPN, which has been deemed as, you know, the sports capital, really. The honestly, just every where you go to, ESPN is for all sports stuff. They have inked a deal with WWE. The actual number is, I believe, over 2 billion, something like that, 2.3.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to house all the PLEs. Apparently, it's going to start as early as 2026, and 2026 is the Riyadh, Saudi Arabia Royal Rumble, and they're going to go all year round. Royal Rumble. We already heard earlier Royal Rumble. We heard WrestleMania, obviously. Money in the Bank, which
Yeah.
next year will be in New Orleans. SummerSlam next year is going to be in Minneapolis. It's starting to make sense why it's in Minneapolis now, but we ain't gonna talk about that. We'll talk about that later. And obviously, some Survivor Series, wherever that is going to be at next year, they are amongst other PLEs. They are going to have it. So, Mr. Shooting Star, the floor is yours. You talk about whatever you want to talk about with this merger with WWE and ESPN.
Let's start off with some facts that I've
Go
seen.
ahead.
All right. And this is from Wrestle Cinema on Instagram. Netflix. If you have the plan with ads, $7.99 a month, which I think now has kind of increased, but just going along with this post for 2026, that would come out to a little under $100 a year. USA Peacock for SmackDown, it would be $131.88 a year.
Mm.
ESPN or YouTube for WWE PLEs, $29.99 a month, aka essentially $360 a year. Or YouTube TV/cable users who have ESPN will get this at no additional cost, but it would be a shade under $1,000 a year if you're using exclusively YouTube TV. Estimated total for the cheapest option per person or per household is $563.75. If you got 1 year of Netflix plus Peacock plus YouTube TV for weekly Raw, weekly SmackDown, monthly PLEs, and the WWE library, we're essentially talking about $1,200 per year. Remember when the WWE Network was $9.99?
And they give you everything.
Everything. And I don't recall really dealing with like streaming issues, slowness, stuff like that. So I've had some time to let this marinate. This is not a post SummerSlam reaction where you get the Raw and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try and be a little objective. From a business standpoint, amazing. The reason I say that is because wrestling in the mainstream just got cool a few years ago. If you had a WWE anything on ESPN.com or on Instagram, all the comments would say, why are y'all covering this? It's not real sports. We've seen ESPN go through a whole bunch of issues. They've laid off so many people. Thought it was going towards being dead in the water, and then boom, this massive deal. So for the WWE to even, I mean, and again, we do have to say TKO. For them to be in a position to pull this off for wrestling, unprecedented. But who wins? They do. And I really wanted to think, like, is there any way that the fans benefit from this? So everyone's complaining about the money. If you have cable, you're now in a position where you can cancel Peacock. But you just have to keep Netflix. So now it's Netflix and cable, assuming there's no additional cost. With having cable, you authenticate the ESPN app, and then you get the content there. But if you're one of those people who ditched cable years ago and now you just stream everything, doesn't it kind of seem like now it's kind of going backwards? Like, is cable now, in this case, just talking about wrestling specifically, is cable now the better option? So there's one school of thought. The other thing is, for the consumer, if you don't have cable, this doesn't benefit you at all. Why do we need 3 different services to consume all your content? If ESPN just got the rights to everything and it was $29.99, different conversation. Right. Now you have convenience. You have just one place for everything. But Netflix for Raw, whatever for SmackDown, and then $30 for PLEs. And that's not including what happens if WWE rolls up to your city. You buying a ticket to go there too? By the way, that month that you, let's just say the month of May, and you go to that PLE, you still paying $30 extra on top of that ticket for the streaming that you're not actually using because you're physically there. So I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed because this just doesn't benefit the fans at all.
You sound like a dad. You sound like a dad. I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed in what I'm seeing out of y'all. Sorry, go ahead.
Man, at least with Peacock, got to stream the Olympics. You have movies, you have other content, you have other shows, but like, it's just not. You just have sports. Like, there are people that love wrestling, but they just don't watch sports. So the ESPN subscription is just for wrestling.
So
that's, a little disappointing for sure.
I mean, look, my personal opinion about it, and we talked about this yesterday, was the fact that I feel like they are out pricing their core fans, and that they're making WWE, basically WWE is kind of following the boxing track of, we're making it more of a luxury sport where we don't mind outsourcing, or not outsourcing, but really outpricing our core fans. And I'm going to make a joke, but unfortunately this joke might be reality. Does WWE / TKO want to see let's say a since they're in cahoots with TKO and all that in UFC, let's say they have a John Bones Jones at the front, or they have a even they have connections with social media. So let's say they have a Drewski, or even let's just say they have like a Mr. Beast or something like that, or even a star like let's say Denzel Washington or Scarlett Johansson or whatever. Would they rather have that, or would they rather have green shirt guy, or yellow shirt guy, or black shirt guy, or black shirt girl, or
Whichever
all of
color.
these people that are core fans at heart? What would they rather have? Because guess what? When they go out, because boxing did this, boxing takes time in showing, hey, look who's here at the fight. You see this? We got all the stars here. You see this Mike Tyson fight? Shaq's right over there. And next to Shaq is Drewski. And over with Drewski is Mr. Beast. And over in Mr. Beast is Michael Rubin. And around Michael Rubin is the Sheik of wherever. WWE / TKO is turning into boxing in that way. If they are following the boxing track, we have already watched boxing die, basically. It's almost dead. It's to a point where boxing now has to reaffirm and rewire how they do business, to the fact that they do the whole DAZN, DAZN app for boxing matches. And they are trying to sell the Canelo versus Terrence Crawford fight. But my thing is, what's their buy rate? What's going to be the end result? Will they get the money that they want? Because if they don't, it's kind of a flop. And if they don't, it's going to be a case where boxing, this is your big fight. And I know this is a wrestling podcast, but at the end of the day, if your big fight for WrestleMania is going to be, let's say, Roman versus Seth,
right,
or let's say it's a triple threat match with Roman, Brock, and Seth or something like that, if that's your big fight, and God forbid you flop on that WrestleMania because you outpriced your fans, and your fans, for whatever reason, have changed to a different place, AEW perhaps, which we will talk about in a little bit, are you okay with the fact? Am I saying is WWK okay with the fact that, hey, we outpriced our core fans so that we gain more wealthy, richer fans, more regal fans, more fans that if we go to Saudi Arabia, if we go to a France, if we go to a England, if we go to all these places overseas, if we go to a Vegas 2 times over WrestleMania, will these big names come out? Will we see a Robert De Niro pop up on the front rooting on Roman Reigns? Or will we see a Timothy Chalamet, or how you pronounce it, pop up and root for Rhea Ripley? If that's what they're banking on, you bank on that and you see where your chips fall.
Interesting. Well, that's the other thing too. Like, how much is the in-person pricing going to change as a result of this?
Right.
Because, a lot of times companies, they test things before they implement things. So it's like, all right, we have this ESPN subscription going on. Let's see how much money we make out of that before we just jack up the prices on all these shows. And again, not to say that it won't happen, but if they get the profit that they're looking for from the subscription, is there really a need to raise the price for live shows in person? I don't know. Now, in terms of the stars, I mean, you can't really bank on that. The only thing which honestly I've never really thought of, because a lot of times these celebrities try to make it seem like they're fans, but like I wouldn't even be surprised if WWE is the one calling them saying, "Hey, we're gonna be in this city. You think you could make a show?" Because I don't know, like, are these celebrities purchasing these tickets? Are they, you know, are they given out? Are there tickets with perks? Like, well, if you get, one of these seats, we'll get you on camera. You could meet some of the superstars backstage, But like, what I'm really curious about is the other parts of the arena and or stadium. The nosebleeds, the 200 section, depending on how large the arena is. What do those prices look like? Because if it's just bad from the jump, then I feel like it's almost like what we talked about for Saturday night's main event and Evolution, where it's like everyone might just wait till the week of and just buy tickets because it's not selling and they got to lower it. Like, what good is it that you have, I don't know, 5 marquee celebrities that you can put the camera on, but like the arena isn't full? Like, is it then worth it? Because yes, the clout helps, but the sales matter more. Like, would you, if the capacity is 20,000, would you rather have 14,000 with 5 marquee celebrities or 18,500 with core fans? That's pretty much, where we've gotten to. And I don't know what matters the most to them, because this move doesn't, again, I really don't see a benefit for the fans. And just because you have cable, you authenticate your account, I don't think that was a thought process in making this decision. Right. I think ESPN is the sports media capital, period. And this is how much, when they open up the checkbook, this is how much money we were talking. Different parts of your company are everywhere else. Highest bidder. It's kind of weird, but profitable, but again, long term. And that's the other thing too. We're talking right now. What happens when this contract is up? Are they renewing? Are they going somewhere else? What's that price going to be like? So the fans, that's why I feel like we're always chasing. I don't know what it's going to be like in 5 to 10 years. I don't know if I'll still be watching in 5 to 10 years. But I'm saying, like, if I'm that 7-year-old kid, as a parent, I'm like, oh man, like, my kid's really into this, but you're the one that's opening up your bank account for this content. It's like, at what point does it stop? Because it's just highest bidder. After this 5-year contract, highest bidder at that point. After the 10-year, highest bidder at that point. And you're pretty much just, you're a slave to the money.
Yeah. And remember, ESPN is owned by Disney.
Right.
That Disney check is a very deep pockets. So what's going to happen? And I want to get your response to this. Let's say you give them a month. You say, hey, I'm going to give you Royal Rumble.
Okay.
What's going to happen when you are watching it for the first time on ESPN? Remember, they're owned by Disney. What's going to happen when Royal Rumble is a central place for returns, and oh my gosh, who is that? And wow, this is great. You went to Royal Rumble earlier this year and you were so happy that you went. You drove a long time to get there and you
Yes,
enjoyed every minute of it.
Yes.
what's going to happen when you're watching it and the crowd there, whether in Saudi Arabia or if they do a 2-nighter and they have it somewhere else, but let's say it's in Saudi, which it will be, the Saudi fans are going crazy. They're giving the holy, what the, like going wild. But obviously they are cursing because they are excited.
Yeah.
What's going to happen when the ESPN broadcast is muted for 10 minutes because they can't play it? You know what you're probably going to think? I just lost. You know, you're going to think like Julius from It's Everybody Hates Chris. I just spent $3.77 on this BLE. I just wasted $3.77 for me to not be able to hear for 2 minutes because they're going to censor it.
It's a good point. I mean, even if it's not Saudi, it's a, you know, because I don't know if they do the profanity chants at Saudi, but if it's a city in the US, if it's Chicago,
yeah.
if it's Brooklyn, if it's wherever, that is a very good question, but I don't know. Because typically, like back in the day when you just bought something on pay-per-view, you got everything,
every little thing, yes,
unfiltered,
uncut.
But it's when you played it back, that's when they edit some of the things they really couldn't let fly. But you know, it's almost like for that money, I want the full experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's been said or not, but if I'm paying $29.99, I also don't want ads.
Didn't even think about that. Because
Like,
once you true.
So, but I think the difficult thing is, and again, there's so much information that I don't know how accurate it is yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd be curious to, is the price of ESPN going up after this deal? Like, was it always $29.99 or was it cheaper?
No, I think the ESPN app was barely 12 or 13.
So this is really making it go up to 30?
I don't think so. Let me check real quick. But the ESPN app was no more than it had to be no more than $15. So I'm looking and ESPN app. Oh, okay. So my bad. Yes, it already does cost $29.99. But maybe this is this new or is this old? It looks like this is the new price, but I'm trying to think of the old price. Oh, look at it. Okay, I got it. Monthly subscription for ESPN Plus, $11.99 a month. This is on Support ESPN. $11.99 a month or $119.99 per year.
So it's essentially $20 more.
Yeah.
Give or take a couple dollars. That is wild.
And here's the thing. The Disney Plus and the Hulu and the ESPN Plus is $17.99.
Yeah, and you heard Hulu's going away, like as a standalone thing. Disney's eating that up too. Pause.
Wow,
that sounded crazy.
Pause. Yeah, pause that. But no, I mean honestly, it's just we talked about this a while ago. There's times where I just think, man, imagine just being a fly on the wall in those rooms, just talking about, yeah, I think we're going to be in merger with ESPN, but they're only giving us $1.7 billion. I think we need an extra $500 million to that. Like, what? They're just talking about $500 million like it's like me and you just passing, like, oh, yeah, I owe you a $20 bill, my bad. Like, right. What? I just can't fathom that big businesses like that. And you know, that's the way of the world. But, you know, this is what we have to do. We as consumers have to eat that pause. We have to eat that cost. And some people are not going to do that. Some people are going to just say, you know what? I love you, but I don't love you enough to be paying $30 a month. $30 a month? You know what I can do with $30 a month? First of all, everything too expensive nowadays anyway. What are we talking about? You already charging me $17 for some eggs. You telling me ESPN like, and grocery cost $100 and you only buy 4 things. Is this just the way the world
salaries are not going up, but the
salaries
cost
are
of
not going
goods
up?
are.
Like, what are we doing? Like, I'm hoping one day that one of these crazy crypto coins that I have that I just randomly bought, and I bought like 700,000 of them, just randomly turns $100 one day, and I just sell it out, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a millionaire now.
Yeah, and who cares what taxes I gotta pay on that?
Right. So, look, I mean, we can talk about this ad nauseum with the ESPN. We could get into the fact that, you know, how is ESPN even going to? Are there going to be more segments on the ESPN programming that is going to include WWE? Because what happens is, and I noticed this, when ESPN lost the rights to NBA and they got the NHL hockey playoffs and all that, there was more hockey talk. And I'm not a huge hockey fan. Like, I mean, I'm a Flyers fan, but I don't follow it like I follow, you know, the football, basketball, even baseball. I don't follow as much either. But it gets to a point where I think now they're going to be like, there's going to be segments where First Take, Stephen A's talking about, dang, you see Braun Breaker, Spear, so-and-so. You see Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed, that's a wild boy. He just took Roman Reigns sneakers like they was back in the yard or something. What the hell's going on there? And then you got Molly Carroll saying, yeah, I really do like that so-and-so. And like, I just can't fathom that. First Take will have that.
You know what? We should have seen this. First of all, you know how many times that they've had a WWE superstar like on First Take?
Yeah.
Do you know how many times Stephen A has expressed that he wanted a Paul Heyman type of role to be a manager for someone?
Yep.
When Triple H was talking about, you know, his death scare, that was on ESPN.
That was.
So this isn't really surprising. The relationship existed. Now it's just official. What, now we're gonna have ESPN logo turnbuckles? Like,
why would you say that? Because we're going to, you know, we're going to have that. We're going to have ESPN sponsored matches. You know what they're going to do? This is hilarious. They're going to bring back. Remember when we had the 5-on-5 and we had the LA Lakers versus the Denver Nuggets, where it was John Cena?
My God, on Raw. Oh my God.
We're going to have that. We're bringing that back. We're going to have 5-on-5 matches with NBA jerseys, or you know, we're going to have Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith and Kendrick Perkins are going to be previewing Money in the Bank. And you got Kendrick Perkins saying, well, you know, I really do like that. I like Booker T. Booker T, a really good. He's going to be commentating. So I don't know. I mean, like, we're laughing, but this could be a reality. ESPN does whatever they want because they're owned by Disney, and they're not going to care what people say. You're going to get this, and you're going to get it because we pay these people to talk about it. So if I'm paying Stephen A. Smith $50, $60, $70 million a year, oh, you gonna put your WWE hat on. Oh, you gonna know who Rhea Ripley is. Oh, you gonna know that Roxanne Perez finishing move is the Pop Rocks. You gonna learn that. If you ain't gonna learn it now, you better learn WWE quick, because that's what's gonna happen.
You know what? I think for the purpose of this video, because again, there's 5 other things I thought of when you said this. How does this affect the wrestlers?
Yeah.
Is this more exposure? Does the current climate get changed because Disney tends to be more of a PG company. Like, I don't know if it's just strictly it's streaming here or if they're going to have input on the content and presentation. I don't know, because it can't be vastly different when your company is. I'm really trying to not sexualize it because that's what it feels like to me. But like Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and PLEs are not all on the same network. So can your overall can the overall image of the company remain the same with each part belonging essentially to someone else? That's kind of where I'm thinking, but that's something that we'll have to see. I don't know if we'll necessarily be able to predict that now.
Yeah, I don't think we will be able to, and I think we're just gonna have to just wait and see with it, because God forbid we have a Raw that's just so hype. Like, imagine us watching the go home show to Raw and be like, damn, Royal Rumble is actually gonna be kind of good. Maybe I do want to watch it.
Right.
Like, do you understand the like hurt that you would feel if you watch Royal Rumble and it's not to the quality of what you want it to be? You're gonna be devastated, and you'll be out $30. Because at least when we see bad PLEs now, it's like, damn, that was a bad PLE. But I mean, I'm only paying like $7-8 anyway. You're not really thinking about it.
Right.
But people are going to be thinking like, I just watched $30 for Stephen A. Smith to low blow Paul Heyman, or Stephen A. Smith to low blow Cody Rhodes, because now he wants, because The Rock told him to do so. Like, the storylines, I really do hope, and I have not gotten any assurance from this past
6
probably
months.
since Elimination Chamber. And Evolution has been the only bright spot, and they didn't even book that well. I have no confidence that
so
they'll book it.
you wouldn't even know in advance, should I spend the money for this?
Right.
You're crossing your fingers that I hope it's a good show. And like, what happens if the well, WrestleMania is April, but let's just say the May PLE you purchased and it sucked, and you're like, I'm not gonna make this mistake again. The June PLE, it was amazing, but you didn't watch it. Because I'm pretty sure there'll have to be a month-to-month option, or like I really don't know how they're gonna manage these subscriptions, because like, what if you watch it for a month and then you just cancel your subscription?
That's what people did before. Remember, people were they were saying they was going to cancel the WWE Network because they didn't like the way that Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble. Literally, they hated it, and they said we were going to cancel it and do this and do that. Now it's easy to say I'm going to cancel it, and then it's only worth $10, and you're like, okay, well, I'll be back in a couple of months because it's only $10.
Right.
But canceling it and it's $30, you're gonna be happy you don't got to pay that $30. But like,
that's hefty, bro.
It's hefty. And what if you, like you said, what if you miss on a great PLE? Then you're either gonna have to watch it back a different time, or you're just gonna have to eat that, and you're just gonna have to just say, you know what, I missed a great WrestleMania, or I missed a great, Money in the Bank. I just honestly, and I'll just end my statement with this. I hope that they do well. I'm still right now, me currently on the 7th of August, I am not going to pay $30 to watch WWE PLEs. I will find other ways to watch it. And if it's included in my YouTube TV, then obviously I'm going to watch it. But I'm also going to feel kind of bad if, like, obviously it's included in mine, but some child convinces their parents, can we watch it? And it's not to their liking. It's like that $30 could have been used for groceries, or at least some groceries, or it could have been used for something.
Right.
And I don't like the way that people are saying, well, we used to pay $70 for pay-per-views and all that. First of all, every Raw and SmackDown, well, first Raws and then SmackDowns, they felt like PLEs. They felt like big time events. So you got that free. You
There
know,
was no
you got
part-timers.
right. You got the ability to say the mid card feels like they should be main eventers, and the main eventers were superstars. But now it's like, unless you're building up superstars, you're going to have to rely on the big time people to carry the company. And also, you're going to have to rely on creative to do creative things. You can't just say, well, we have Rhea Ripley and we have Bianca Belair. Let's just have them fight.
Right.
Because, yes, the normal fans going to be like, okay, that's cool. Maybe even some of the fans that are not, understand the wrestling. They just like Rhea Ripley because she's an attractive woman, or they like Bianca Belair because she's an attractive woman, and we just want to see two attractive women fight each other. And God forbid, and I don't want to really speed this into existence, but what if you have a case where you're going to have like a Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese situation where you are now splitting between races? We don't know. But what I do know is if you're not writing towards a good storyline,
Right.
what are you're really alienating your core fan base. And that, in my case, then you're not WWE anymore. You're not a wrestling company. You are just you're just an athletic event, basically.
Yeah, and they expect their fans to just follow them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, our fans love it so much, they'll go wherever we go for however much we charge. And that's why I told you yesterday, if the fans don't put up the money, that's when they'll learn. And then they'll end up in more debt than when they started.
Mm-hmm.
So as of now, I'm with you. I'm not paying $30. No.
Can't. Well, I know one company, in my opinion, that should be looking at this and saying, dear God, my name's Tony. And I've just found out that WWE and ESPN are charging $30 for a PLE. Tony Khan.
Yeah.
Mr. Tony Khan.
Let's talk about it.
And AEW, the Khans, who don't just do AEW. They own the Jaguars. They
That's
own
right.
Fulham FC. They got big business. Truth be told, they in a little water right now because of the John Moxley thing. The John Moxley hitting the cameraman and the cameraman suing. And now they got to decide if they want to go public as a company and show that the Khan family is monetarily backing this, which, I mean, we already know, but a lot of times people want to keep their money hush hush. They don't want to know who paying who and all that. Because you might open yourself to IRS and we don't got, I don't know. We'll get into that. We don't got to get to that right now. But strictly wrestling wise, and the opportunity to say, I've been number two. And there was a time in 2021 and 2022 ish where I took some fans from you.
Oh, yeah.
I took them. Like the product was not great, or it was okay at WWE, but at the same time, it's new, it's fresh, it's different. I took one of the Shield members. I took one of your biggest women stars in Mercedes Moné. I took a bunch of stars that you thought wasn't good enough.
I took CM Punk.
I took CM Punk because you ain't want him. And we have now recently learned from CM Punk himself that they were dragging their feet on even bringing him back in 2019. And I forgot what the holdup was for that, but I believe it might have been Vince. I don't know for sure. I think he said it was Vince, or it might have been just the money. I'm not sure, but there was a holdup, and they got CM Punk. They lost CM Punk, but I say all this to say, and my question on the side says, is it time for AEW to strike back? Is this the moment where AEW decides maybe it's time to go for the gusto. Maybe it's time to see, hey, if we can poach these fans that don't want to pay $30 for PLE on the, a couple weeks ago, I gave you All In, and All In, for all intents and purposes, was an amazing show. People have said it's probably one of the best AEW shows they've ever watched.
Yeah.
Can you keep that going forward with Forbidden Door? Forbidden Door is one of their main PLEs because their partnership with New Japan Wrestling. Is this the time for AEW? And I'm asking you, do you feel like this is the time for AEW to say we're going to go all in? No pun intended.
So as a company, they should have been doing that all along.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a very interesting time because one thing that wrestling fans always complain about is that AEW cannot get WWE out of their mouth.
Mm-hmm.
They always have to say something, and it's something petty, it's a low blow, something snarky, but you have an opportunity right in front of you where the WWE fans are actually trash talking the WWE. Now, the only thing, I don't know how AEW would actually pull this off, but they have to be thinking of something, whether it's convenience, because the issue with WWE is business. It's not necessarily that something in the content made people upset. Sure, people do have feelings about Brock coming back, but the bigger story is the pricing out the fans. So for the fans that will not pay the $30 a month, or the fans that will not try to find another way, a cheaper way, without moving to Canada, because Canada has a cheaper situation.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to have individuals, however many people that is, that still want to consume wrestling, but they drew a line.
Mm-hmm.
Because WWE pretty much gave them an ultimatum. Now let's just assume that they're just aware of AEW, they don't watch it. You have to draw those people. That is a percentage of the WWE fan base that you would not have had, or you would not have had an opportunity to get unless WWE TKO made these business decisions that, again, the number one thing about a business is you have to think about who your audience is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's being taken under consideration in this type of move. AEW needs to do something. I just don't know what it is. But they need to put themselves in the spotlight, obviously for a positive thing, and just get more eyeballs on their content, on their programming. And again, I don't know how. I don't get paid to know how. I would like to get paid to tell them how.
Me too.
But that's for them to figure out. But if they do nothing during this time period, and again, they have time because this goes into effect next year.
Mm-hmm.
If they do absolutely nothing and it's just business as usual, you're going to look back 5-10 years from now if AEW's more so in the same spot, or if they just don't peak, or maybe this is their peak and they just end up becoming what TNA was in the earlier part of the 2000s, where, you know what, we're just going to be that clear-cut number 2. You're going to look back and say, we probably missed out here, because what would be interesting, which WWE is not going to say it, but if we find out that they lost significant viewership, those are fans that needed some sort of wrestling in their life.
Mm-hmm.
And if you did not try to draw those fans, you can't just exist. Like, AEW still has to campaign
Right.
based off of the type of venues that they're hosting shows. You clearly have room to grow.
Oh, course. Yes, they do.
Like, and you're still a young company, but you need to just continue growing your foundation. You need to grow your stars. You need to not force anything,
Mm-hmm.
but again, force your not force. Let me choose a different word, but integrate your superstars in other aspects of pop culture, and just at least have people question, who is this? Where are you from? What do you do? Because the ESPN thing is even more exposure. They have the ESPYs. Now you're gonna have male WWE Superstar of the Year. Because I don't know what awards they have, but we've also seen WWE Superstars host it.
John Cena just did it, didn't he? A couple weeks ago, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this match was made. AEW needs to find something. Someone. They need to get their... They need exposure. And once they get that exposure, they need to make sure that their content is good enough for people to keep coming back.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why, as much as you and I are saying we're not paying these $30 a month, the only reason why there's still a part of us that's just like, man, like I really want to, is because, one, they always leave us in a situation where we want to see what happens next. Good or bad. And then, like you had told me privately, there's always that OMG moment.
Right.
And you don't want to miss it, because you kind of want to experience that when everyone else is experiencing it. But there's going to come a point where, like I said, you're going to have to draw that line. And if you decide right now this ain't it, you might start from another company that was where WWE was at some point. And then now you just become a part of these core fans. And then maybe in 20 years from now, AEW gets in a position where now they price out their fans. But like, they got to do something.
So I've been thinking about this all night and part of today. And I'm just thinking about the roster. If you put the rosters next to each other, obviously you're going to say that WWE has the better of the two rosters. However, and I think you agree with this as well, AEW's roster is nothing to slouch about. If you look at their roster from top to bottom, you can honestly say, and we talked about this last night, the thing that I said was MJF, Mercedes Moné, and Swerve. Whenever Swerve is in the right headspace, because sometimes Swerve be swerving. Let's just honest.
Exactly.
So, but MJF and Mercedes Moné, those are your two people to say, you two go out and you are our, let's say, our spokespeople or our basically our ambassadors of sorts. You're gonna represent our brand.
Okay.
MJF already has done that with Happy Gilmore too. Has he gotten more engagement because he's been Happy Gilmore too? I don't think so. I'm not sure. I hope that he did, because like I said, I think I didn't watch it, but he didn't just have like a one-off part. Like he was Happy Gilmore's one of his sons, I believe. So, you know, it's he is still young, but there is promise with MJF to where when I first got to AEW, I was hearing people was like, yo, MJF is the truth. MJF is this, MJF is that. And then I watched him, and then I watched him wrestle, and I was like, oh, he has a total package. Like, if WWE ever decide to throw the bag at him, it's easy money. He's gonna be an easy earner. Now I'm kind of rooting for MJF to stay because I selfishly want AEW to start gaining ground. Same thing with Mercedes. Mercedes left and did a bunch of side missions while she was gone. She did the Star Wars. She did the modeling. She did the here and there wrestling, but there was a time when after she left and before she went to AEW where she was probably a little more popular than she was in WWE.
Yeah, she had more exposure.
Like Trinity was the same way. It's just that I feel like with Trinity, and she would probably never admit to this. I'm not going to put words in her mouth, but I knew she was going to come back because Jimmy's there. It's like your husband's there. You really can't just not go there. That's what the same thing with Buddy. I think Buddy eventually will go back to WWE because Rhea's there. It's hard to be on opposite shows and on opposite schedules and hope that they align to the point of where you still have a life outside of your wrestling career and in your wrestling time. So I say that all to say I want AEW to gain the ground on WWE because they have the stars to do so. I personally think that if you put Mercedes, you put Tony Storm, Willow, and Chris Statlander, and you tell them y'all are women ambassadors, and you tell MJF, you tell Swerve, you tell Will Ospreay, you tell Hangman, y'all are our men's ambassadors, I think the ground will be made to where at the very least WWE is going to have to not acknowledge it publicly, but privately, I think they're going to have to be like, the AEW just catch their stride. Because I feel like WWE has been always banking on, well, y'all don't like AEW. AEW has all of these great people, but they're always going to mess up on the one thing. And you and I talked about that.
Yeah.
You want to get an AEW. You have the stars. You have the gimmick matches that are kind of good. The casino gauntlet and all it. Like those are really interesting matches. But there's just something that's just missing to where, and it could be sometimes it's the quality of wrestling. It could be the fact that the promo skills are not always there and they seem a little overforced. But you have all the ingredients to make a great gumbo. You just need that one thing to be like, oh, this is it. That's what I was missing. And they don't necessarily have that yet. But I hope that Tony Khan decides, I got the roster. WWE fans are already complaining about it. I got some WWE people over here right now. Y'all remember Mox? Y'all remember Dean Ambrose? He Moxley right now. He part of Death Riders. Oh, you know that who he also with? He's also with Cesaro. Y'all, weren't y'all the ones saying that Cesaro should be a world champion? Yeah, Cesaro's with him too. Oh, y'all remember Tony Storm? Well, maybe y'all don't remember her because maybe she was last time you seen her, she had a pie in her face. But guess what Tony Storm's doing right now? Tony Storm is the best character in wrestling, period.
Yeah.
Hands down, no other character is Tony Storm right now. And the thing about Toni Storm that I haven't even thought about because she's so damn timeless. Toni Storm is 29 years old.
Yeah.
She hasn't even hit 30 years of age yet.
Ooh.
So these stars that you have are still young enough to carry your company for 10 plus years. And they're gaining their stride in their characters. You have to be able to book correctly. When Hangman beat Mox, that was a gimme booking. But still, you still needed to see that moment of Hangman did it. Hangman took the title from Mox that was hidden in a damn briefcase.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I'll finish it off with this. It gets to a point in everybody's life, our lives as humans, where you don't want to regret not going for the shot. You don't want to not shoot your shot, whether it's to, someone you like, or some job that you want, or some hobby that you want to do. It gets to a point where, and I'm going to say it the PG way, but it's poop or get off the pot.
Yeah.
And in the sense of you either got to do it or you just shut up and you just stand in the back and you just don't worry about it. And I think AEW's at this point now where you got to go for the gusto. And if you fail, you can say it was worth the try. But I don't think they're going to fail. I think at the worst, they'll probably be back to where they were before. So it's time to make moves, AEW. I'm not saying you need to get out of the little arenas, but what I'm saying is, and we'll just use Atlanta, for example. The Gateway Center is great. Wonderful. Very intimate. Atlanta Dream play there. Great Atlanta Dream team. I think they're top 5 in WNBA right now. They're wonderful. But you want to be in the State Farm. And you want to be in the Mercedes-Benz. You don't want to just have 20,000, 30,000 people. You want you want the two, you're not saying you want 2-day events, but you want to be able to say, yo, when we went to the State Farm, we sold it out too. So it's not just because people like your stuff. It's that people like wrestling. People like the art of wrestling. And if I sell you a State Farm ticket and you have, let's say, and I'll end it with this. You have 2 tickets in your face. Let's say in March of 2026, AEW comes to Atlanta, and I believe let's just say it's Dynasty, AEW Dynasty at the State Farm Arena. And those lower level tickets are $90 to $100. And I'm not talking about lower level W set like us. I'm talking about lower level, like you're in the AA row. Like how I got a $50 ticket for SmackDown. And I was like, thank God.
Right.
You're getting that for a PLE.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's say WWE is being sneaky and they say, oh, well, NXT is going to go to, let's say NXT goes to Gas South Arena because it's bigger than, center stage. They said to go to Gas South Arena. And they say, well, our tickets are going to be, let's say their tickets is $85, $90. Let's say it's the same. Do you think that you would go to the Gas South Arena to watch NXT just because WWE's being petty? Or would you think, what the hell? Give AEW a shot because this is a shot in the dark. And $90, if it's a bad show, it's a bad show. It's $90. But with WWE, it's like, if it's a bad show, still got to pay that $30 for the ESPN.
Right. So that comparison, it's not apples to apples, and it also wasn't when we had our 4TL, ATL either.
Yeah.
Because they had essentially AEW had pretty much their WrestleMania up against NXT and Saturday Night's Main Event. You ended up not being too thrilled with either show.
That Saturday was not the only thing about Saturday was beating Jay Cargill.
Right. Well, yeah, the meet and greets.
But
the actual show itself, I mean, you would have to choose AEW. And so with the comparison you gave with a PLE versus an NXT show, whether well, I guess if it was a PLE, it would have to also be an NXT PLE.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do a WWE PLE.
I would probably go to the AEW show. I mean, that's almost like saying AEW's talent is developmental level. If you would choose NXT, like if it's an actual debate, then that's not good. That's not good, because the only reason that NXT, let's just say, can put up viewership numbers like AEW is because they're under WWE, and there's a direct path NXT to main roster. If NXT was its own separate entity, we wouldn't be having this conversation. And then there's always a possibility that someone from the main roster could go to NXT, and like Nia Jackson, Lash Legend, for example. But it honestly, I know the cop-out lazy answer is, oh, well, it depends what you care most as a wrestling fan, or it depends what you watch on a weekly basis. But I feel like you get more value from the AEW show. You're getting essentially a different company, but main event talent, main roster talent. The matches are probably going to be better.
Right.
Like if All In was in Atlanta,
oh my gosh,
I guarantee you the only WWE thing that they would see me at would be Evolution and the meet and greets. And that's if the times did not, the same way Stephanie Vacher and NXT mesh. The only way I don't do those meet and greets is if it interferes with All In. And to be completely honest with you, I'd also have to consider, am I going to do AEW meet and greets?
Yeah, for real.
Of WWE meet and greets. And maybe the day that I see WWE, that's the day I do meet and greets. If whoever I want to meet is available on that day, great. If not, catch you next time.
I agree.
But I think that your scenario is going to happen at some point where they're both going to be in the same damn city.
Because they won't be able to avoid each other.
Right. I'm like, especially if it's a major event, AEW is going to announce it well in advance.
Right. And then WWE is going to try to counter program it.
Right. And the thing is, like, why? Like, if your product is so great, it shouldn't matter if you have something on the same weekend. You look desperate. You look desperate, and it sucked. It sucked.
Right here.
Oh, here we go. Oh, man.
NXT Heat Wave in a couple of weeks, and I think it's next week or 2 weeks from now, and Forbidden Door. Forbidden Door, I believe, is on the Saturday, maybe? Or they're both on Sunday, something like that. If they both are on the same Sunday, I mean, look, if we didn't have Peacock, and let's say AEW had their own streaming site, I would rather Forbidden Door. You're going to tell me I can watch Okada versus Swerve? You're going to tell me I can watch Ospreay versus, I don't even know who Ospreay's going to face at Forbidden Door. You know, you're going to get a Moxley versus probably I forgot his name again, but you're going to get that. You know, you might get a Tomorrow Ishii versus Kyle Fletcher now, because that's a thing. That's about to be a thing. You never know. Somebody from New Japan, you might see the return of whoever, you
Right.
know? So
It's a decision. It's a choice you have to make for real.
yeah.
And
But
you might have to just judge it based on the card, to be
yeah,
completely honest with you, because looking at the card, like there's no way that you would choose the Great American Bash Saturday Night's main event over All In. The both of them combined, you
right.
wouldn't choose it over All In. Heat Wave and Forbidden Door are both on the same day, August 24th.
Happy birthday, mommy. That's my mom's birthday.
Happy birthday indeed. So I'm saying, like, you'd
I
have
might watch
some real
Forbidden
decisions to
Door,
make.
truth be told. I mean, the only thing I probably watch if it's, if we have NXT Heat Wave, the only thing that I probably would want to watch is if Javon Evans wins and he's facing Obafemi. That will probably be the only thing I would want to watch.
But that's the reason why I said it depends on the card.
Yeah.
Great American Bash, like, you know how, man, do you know how, like, firm in your stance you have to be to have a ticket and sell it on purpose?
Son, that's what you did. But you did it only because, bro, you literally was like, I see that Stephanie Vacquer is going to be at the same time that Great American Bash is going to happen. And you did the honorable thing, in my opinion. You said, you know what? My meet and greet with Stephanie Vacquer is more important than going to center stage and watching NXT. Because
and I still have no regrets.
Right. You have no regrets. Because at the very least, though it was a WWE event and all the things were WWE events, it's still the experience of meeting and greeting a superstar, which I have just found out is a great experience to have. So, because although, like I said, it's under WWE banner, I would rather just meet them. I would rather just stay in line, get to meet them, even though it's only be for like 5 to 10 seconds. It's still worth the while than, in my opinion, watching. I mean, the main event for Great American Bash wasn't even that good. It was Blake Monroe's debut, but that wasn't a main event worthy match.
It wasn't. And you're not going to get me interested with a contract signing either.
Right. They try to slip in a contract signing like that was going to be worth. Nothing happened. Darkseid came out and whooped everybody's ass. That was it.
Wow.
They do that every week.
That could have happened on Tuesday. Exactly.
Twice on Tuesday. Like, it doesn't matter. Literally, Darkseid does it every single week and twice on Tuesday. So, like, that's not anything to, like, not want to go see. That's something that I'm just like, I can say it anytime I want. So, I do think that NXT, a lot of times, in my opinion, is WWE's like hamster. Like they try things and see, well, let's see if we can, let's see if we have our Great American Bash versus their All In. Let's see how much we can take from their fans. I truly think that WWE fans they did not go and see All In. I'm talking about the true, like the core fans that are like WWE apologists. Right. They literally would have rather have watched Great American Bash than All In. But my thing about that is, if I was not with you and if I was not downtown, I wouldn't even went to All. If we were not going to Saturday main event at the end of the night,
yeah,
I would have watched All In. We would have found a legal stream pirating, and we would have found All In. We would have watched it, and we would have had a good time. But
I agree.
This is why I'm saying AEW needs to understand their worth. It seems like they are to an extent, but it seems like WWE's playing with them. It's like, oh, well, we'll just throw another NXT event at you. That ain't you're throwing rocks at the moon, bro. Like that's not doing anything right now. That does nothing. NXT is never going to, in my opinion, now it's never going to outsell AEW event,
and it shouldn't.
and it shouldn't. Like you got to be real about this. You have to understand that AEW can be on their way to at your doorstep saying, "Look, this is what we want. We want the smoke." Shout out to the, shout out to the Street Profits. But I mean, look, we gonna see. We gonna see.
We will.
So what else we gonna see? And I want to talk about this real quick before we get to actual wrestling, because I assure you, we are a wrestling podcast and we do talk about in-ring wrestling. One last thing. So there are rumors that Peacock is now, because now, Peacock has been, we gotta talk about Peacock real quick. Okay. Peacock is like the girlfriend that just got dumped. She was treating the guy right, or the boyfriend that got dumped. They were treating their person right. They was doing all the things to do. Come home, they washed their dishes, they cooked the food, they complimented on their hair. You smell good today. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And then all of a sudden, you get somebody coming over and it's like they might got more money than the person. Might be more well groomed. That's ESPN.
Yeah.
But ESPN not they're not loyal. ESPN
right. This is like a celebrity relationship. This is the girl you had before you made it.
Mm-hmm.
And ESPN is the girl you got once you made it. Different tax bracket, everything. Comes with the bells and whistles.
So Peacock now has to pick up the pieces and say, do we want to continue working with wrestling, promotions? I think they should. I never really had the only real thing that I had a problem with Peacock was the fact that there were commercials in between matches, but and you had to pay extra money to watch the promo, but I'm not paying extra money.
That was cheaper than ESPN.
It's not right, it's now cheaper. So look, I'm not going to complain about that, because now I realize that it could be $30 and the same thing. It's just that now there's an ESPN banner on it. But we talked about this yesterday a little bit, and we joked about it. Peacock is apparently going to try to go after NXT. It could go after NXT. We'll see if WWE is like, hey, we know we're going to ESPN, but we'll give you NXT. Kind of the similar way of how USA had Raw, and then Raw, Raw went to Netflix, and then WWE was like, well, we'll give you SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Well, can we have Roman, and can we have Cody, and can we have all the great stars? Yeah, you can have them after WrestleMania. But during WrestleMania season, they need to be on Raw.
Yeah.
You on Netflix, because we try and get this money from Netflix. I mean, that's what they're doing. Oh, but we can get Cena when he comes too, right? Cena's going to have a couple times where he's going to pop up, sure. Cena's a very busy man.
Indeed.
Hey, but what's about, you can have Tonga. You can have well, what about LA Knight? LA Knight's a really good player. Well, he was good, but he's a Raw bound person now. We can't even have a new star. What's going on? Like, what are we doing?
You can have the other Uso.
You can have the other Uso, right? We want Jay. Nah, you can have Jimmy. And no offense to Jimmy, because we love Jimmy. We love Big Jim. Pause. But what are we doing? Like, are we really caring about it, or are we just playing around? So I'm going to say this real quick, because I got to actually get my charger because it's about to die on me. I'm going to say that I would love for AAA or TNA to go to Peacock, and especially TNA. If that's a thing, I think TNA would be a good because that's more exposure. I do want to see how the TNA and NXT partnership works still. If they're going to keep doing back and forth with some of their some of their wrestlers, but overall, I would love AAA. AAA is we got a AAA event in a couple weeks. It's going to be on YouTube. I think it's going to be a banger. I think it's going to be good. It's different. It's a different type of wrestling, especially if AAA convinces WWE like, yo, can we get Dom? Can y'all give us Dirty Dom? Can we get we can get Lola Vice, right? Lola Vice speaks Spanish. She Cuban. Can we get what we can get? Can we get all the Grande Americanos? Look, we like them more than y'all do. Can we get that at least? Come on now. Throw us a freaking bone here. So I would love for it. 4TL might turn into 4 out of more La Lucha Libre. We might be 4AL now instead of 4TL. But your thoughts on the Peacock? I'll be right back.
Listen, my thing is short and sweet. I would be fine with it. If AAA was going to remain free on YouTube, then I wouldn't necessarily want to keep a Peacock subscription just to get AAA. But obviously, there's going to be a cost for everything. So why not? Not mad at it. Whichever one, AAA, NXT, TNA, whichever one they get, they're going to get a good company, a good roster. So I wouldn't be upset either way with it. But man, Peacock, man, y'all held it down for however long this contract lasted. But if you have to settle for AAA, NXT, TNA, I wouldn't be mad with either one. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say on that. But a lot of this is we'll see, and hoping that if they do get any of these three, that they also don't increase their price.
True. I hope it stays the same. I would like that, but we'll see.
Absolutely.
So let's finish off. Let's talk about some wrestling. How about you? You start off. What do you want to talk about? So what do you want to talk about?
So the first thing that stands out to me is how interesting the Raw main title, the World Heavyweight title picture is going to look now. I think they're going to dangle this carrot that LA Knight is in the picture, but he's just not going to win it anytime soon. I think they're going to tease, unfortunately, that it's going to be between Rollins, Punk, and Roman. That's going to be the storyline. And because of the magnitude of the stars, you don't necessarily need to rush through them. Roman written off TV. So now you're going to have LA Knight and CM Punk be the top two. Gunther's having surgery, so it's not like he's going to be in a I want a rematch or I want my title back, which I don't even know if he's eligible for a rematch because the title changed hands twice. But again, we're just using old logic. He's
right.
Definitely
There's no logic in WWE now. They don't care.
No. He's definitely a big enough star that if he just wanted a rematch, he could find his way back. But because he's a heel, curious to see how that works. What I would not like is if they simply just had CM Punk and LA Knight just fight for number one contendership, because I feel like they both should get world title matches. Probably lose, and then the big money is Roman and Seth at WrestleMania. And I don't think that it should happen before then. I mean, Roman may not even be available to have it happen before then. But for me, this to me feels like this is how a world title picture should look. This isn't, This isn't Seth versus Sheamus. No offense. This is not Seth versus Ludwig Kaiser. Guys who are good in the ring, but like they're not main event. Seth's reign, I mean, literally from the get-go, he's not having a Gunther reign where he's just beating low mid-carders or just mid-carders. When you have main event talent versus main event talent, that's the whole point of having a top title. So I'm just excited about that and curious to see how this LA Knight CM Punk thing, you know, kind of moves forward. You can also take the single screen because I will need to excuse myself for
I got you. Seconds. So just to piggyback off a shooting star, I think that, and I'm gonna wait till he comes back to say the thing I want to say, but I think that the Raw Championship right now is in good hands. I think that Seth Rollins is obviously the workhorse of WWE. He has shown for the past 10 plus years that he is underappreciated, even though everybody says he's 1B. Can't have a better 1B than Seth Rollins. You know, if it wasn't for Roman getting his act together and becoming the tribal chief, we would be having a serious conversation of Rollins should obviously be the man. No pun intended to his wife. Speaking of his wife, actually, I'm gonna wait for Shooting Star to come back for that too, because he's going to have an opinion about that. I think I want to talk about Dirty Dom real quick because I think that he is in a position now where WWE is now tasked with, is he going to be our next star? And not just star, but like our next superstar. I think that the way that Dominic Mysterio has, since he's really come into the WWE with his dad, I think that has been kind of a slow but then meteoric rise to where he is now. You know, there was talks when he was first coming out of should he just go to NXT? You know, was he just brought up because his dad is on the roster, his dad's Rey Mysterio, and he's the very, very well beloved wrestler of our time. And is this a case where, he should have paid his dues? He should have paid his dues in NXT, but the heel turn that he had against Edge, and then obviously his dad, the Judgment Day stuff, which in my opinion, the Judgment Day is now his. Him and Finn kind of still go back and forth, but it's kind of died down recently. I think they're kind of back on the same page, but we don't know what might happen. I still would like Dom to go and do his own thing. I do want to see if, and it's going to tell me when they do the Triple Mania in next week.
Yeah.
If he wins the AAA championship, are we going to see him be the face of the company, their company, for, I would say, at least till the next time they have it? Is he going to hold the title? Is he going to bring the title to Raw? Is this going to be a case where he's going to have to drop the IC title to somebody? I don't know. But I just want to give props to Dom Mysterio and say, look, bro, we booed you not because we ain't like you, but because you're a great heel. And sometimes great heels need to get booed to understand that you're doing great work. It's very much the like fresh tomato. If we throw a fresh tomato at you, it's not that we hate you. It's just that, you've done a great job.
Right.
So,
Like you're getting getting no reaction is significantly worse than getting booed out the building.
All right, so bro, I holded these two things off to you. I'm gonna hit you back to back with them. So get your 50 Cent vest on, because
It has to do with Becky, doesn't it?
it has to do with Becky and Nikki. And it also has to do with a certain somebody else that could be in the main roster spot. No, I'm sorry, not main roster, the main event spot. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Let's get Nikki out the way, please.
So, Becky Lynch eviscerated Nikki Bella. Rest in peace to Nikki Bella. She literally, if I had the clip, I would show the clip of Terminator 2 when Sandra, I said Sandra Connor, yeah, Sandra Connor, Sarah Connor, excuse me, I said Sandra. Sarah Connor literally was obliterated by, Skynet. That's what happened to Nikki Bella, and I knew it. I seen it happening. It's like when you're watching a storm come. Shout out to Jay Cargill, but you're literally watching like a tornado, and you're watching it come closer and closer. When Nikki Bella dropped well, you're a liar like your husband, I seen a little twinkle in Becky's eye. This is why I'm called Big Time Flex, because Big Time Bex, Big Time Flex. I seen a little twinkle in her eye that was like, "Oh, we shooting." I bet we gonna go off the rails real quick, because you're not gonna talk about Seth Rollins like that. He's your champion. You respect your champion. We're gonna talk about your can't see relationship. I loved it. I love the delivery. I love that she played to it at first. She was like, "Oh, we're the new couple," because it used to be you and
You can't see him anymore.
Perfectly done by Becky Lynch. This is why Becky Lynch is obviously shooting star does not believe that Bayley's better than Becky Lynch. I truly don't. I never believed it either. Becky Lynch is the best of the four horsewomen. We got to call that out. I love you, Mercedes, but in WWE's sake, Becky Lynch went from literally a dancing Irish woman doing the Irish jig in NXT to the man, to Becky 2 belts, to, like she likes to state, I am the greatest female wrestler. That's not me talking. That's Sports Illustrated.
Right.
to that. Shout out to Becky Lynch. Go ahead.
I agree. She's the best. Listen, that clapback was warranted. Ain't no one talking about husbands. Why did you go there? I'm like, yo, and the craziest thing, Becky didn't even speak about someone she was actually married to.
Yeah.
Because that's a whole other situation.
And I talked about that too, how she's not married right now. Yeah.
Yeah, that was weak. That was one of those you didn't think before you spoke, and then came back to get burned. So, listen.
Yeah.
You know what? Becky just needs to hold these titles forever. Sorry, Lyra. Just go to SmackDown. I'm not really interested in Lyra versus Bayley. But Lyra, just go to SmackDown. You can't compete for that championship anyway, and the world title picture is kind of busy.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And she's not beating Naomi anytime soon, so.
Nah. Speaking of world title picture, there's a man you did not mention the world title picture.
Oh?
And I'm not happy about saying his name right now, because I liked him, but I'm starting to get annoyed by this man.
Uh-oh.
Sami Zayn is annoying me. And I love Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, he is the reason. I've never admitted this. He is the reason why I started to watch NXT. Because I seen this ultimate underdog. I heard the underdog of NXT, and I was like, huh. And I kept watching him lose. And I was like, dang. whenever Sammy wins, it's going to be great. And then he beat Adrian Neville, and that moment was so great. And Kevin Owens ruined it. And I was like, damn. Very much so CM Punk like, but damn, ruined it. But I've always followed Sami Zayn. I always thought Sami Zayn was underappreciated. His match with Shinsuke Nakamura was the
debut, right?
Shinsuke Nakamura's debut, yes.
Yep.
In WWE. It's first fresh off the plane from Japan. Never probably touched before.
Right.
You would think that this was Angle versus redacted.
Oh, right.
Yeah, like honestly, this or Angle versus Guerrero, where you're just like, wow. Sami Zayn had to have a great dance partner, and obviously Shinsuke is out of the world great. I say that all to say, Sami Zayn, I'm getting tired of your stuff, bro. I'm getting tired of the good guy stuff. I'm getting tired of the, oh, well, I want to do it the right way. I want to make sure that, I don't give into the dark side. And I want to make sure that the way I win the championship, because I'm going to win the championship and I'm going to do everything I need to do, is the right way. You know, the right way got you? Got you piped for the ribs. It got you being laughed at by CM Punk when they asked you, oh, yeah, Sami Zayn's also a part of this, too. He laughed at it. Sami Zayn. I don't care about no damn Sami Zayn. You got laughed at. You had to get brought up by the tribal chief, and you were brought back from the island of irrelevancy, obscurity. You were doing matches with Johnny Knoxville, bro. But you're telling me that you can't go to the dark side? You can't do a little hit. You can't do a little bit. You know what I mean? You can't. You telling me that because Seth the champion, that you're going to try to do it the right way? You think Seth care about the right way? Seth don't care about the humane way. You know what Seth do? Seth the type of person that will tell you that he just broke his ankle. 3 weeks later, he taking your title. That's ruthlessness. That's I don't care. But you telling me that you got beef with Seth Rollins, right? You got beef with him. But you telling me that you gonna win the championship the right way? That boy got a dog. He got a dog on him. He got the big dog. Willing to snap. He snapped you 3 times. How many times you gonna get speared before you realize stop walking by that damn dog? How many times that dog got to get off the leash before you run away before you realize, hey, maybe I shouldn't be on this block no more. And oh, by the way, you try to run to a different block, there's a person going to take your shoes. Tribal thief. Shoe the follower. Going to take your shoes and laugh in your face. And guess what? Tsunami you. And if you even get close to getting to Seth Rollins, either get past them two for some reason, Seth Rollins is a 10-year vet, multiple Money in the Bank winner, multiple world champion winner. This isn't you getting past Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed and saying, okay, now I've done all I can do. I can beat Seth Rollins. No. Seth Rollins is the final boss. Forget what The Rock talking about. Seth Rollins is the final boss. Seth Rollins is the boss battle where you got to make sure you got all your potions, all your HP up. You make sure that your attack is on 10, 1,000. Because he gonna cheat. Seth Rollins gonna cheat. He that boss battle you're gonna throw the controller. So you telling me that you can't put some cheat codes in? You can't say, you can't do the, R2, L2, L2, R2, left, right, up, down, left, right, up, down. and get you some little cheats. You tell, and I'm gonna end this with this. If you ain't willing to do that, my man Sami Zayn, insane in the membrane. You a crazy fool, and you don't deserve to be champion. And that hurts my soul to say that, because I'm one of your biggest supporters. But the IC title is going to be your ceiling, bro. You ain't going to be no title winner. You need to understand what Karrion Kross tried to show your ass. Excuse my language. I don't care. Get it right. Get it right, Sami Zayn.
I don't really have much to say.
Sorry, I didn't mean to shoot on Sami Zayn the whole promo, but
TikTok, bro. I've been over Sami Zayn.
I know.
This baby's, when we fantasy booked, it was him turning heel. That's what makes him interesting. Everyone has to. Cody Rhodes had to dig deep and do some dastardly things.
Dastardly things. There you go.
Like, I guess the only one who didn't have to do it was Jey Uso. But that's really your comparison? Bro, even Cena turned heel to win 17. Who you doing it for, bro? I don't care about this how long Sammy is a very good in-ring wrestler, right?
Mm-hmm. Great. Yeah, he's a great in-ring wrestler.
Great.
Blue Thunderball is one of your favorite moves.
One of my favorite moves. But I have to say this. Your character really does matter. If you're going to be an underdog for so long, isn't that more telling? When you're an underdog, you're underdog for a specific period of time before you either make it or you don't. If you're an underdog for multiple years, in the realm of a character, that kind of means you kind of suck. Or you would have won the big one by now. This underdog, you know what this is? Man, I don't even know what to compare this to. This is just like that person who just keeps saying, "No, I'm gonna make it one day. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there." And you see so many people accomplish that dream, and then it comes to a point where you're just like, "Yo, I actually no longer care if you accomplish it." Where it's like, if he wins the title, it's like,
okay,
oh wow, like, damn, you finally did that? I thought you were gonna do that 4 years ago. What happened? There's certain storylines that just don't matter after a certain point. I'm like, if anything, you should have been going after your second world title. I'm like, we're complaining about LA Knight. Sammy's been doing this. I mean, LA Knight's not playing the underdog role, but if we're talking about someone who should have been world champ, if LA Knight becomes world champ before Sammy, I'm like, bro, I don't want to hear from you
ever again, right?
Unless you change your character.
The only way, bro. We talked about this. The only way. You gotta turn heel.
I don't like his promos.
Me neither. Not anymore.
It's the same thing over and over and over again. Yeah, I'm done with Sammy.
I don't think WWE is yet, though. I think they're going to try to throw him back in here. I think that they're going to try to throw him back in because he has beef with Seth Rollins too. But I just feel like for me now, Sami Zayn is just you're going to have to play the role now unless you change your character. Your role is you're just going to fill up a spot. You are a transitional opponent to Seth Rollins now. You are the like a PLE that doesn't really matter. Not say it doesn't matter, but like if they had like a Extreme Rules PLE or like a Payback PLE, that's you're that opponent. You're going to lose because you know we're not going to win, but that's what you are. Go ahead.
You know what I just thought of for the first time? Sami Zayn should have been the one to beat Gunther at SummerSlam and get cashed in on. That would make his underdog story make perfect sense. You find the thing is CM Punk, I understand the story, I understand everything, but CM Punk has been champion before. He hasn't been champion in his second run. Every time he's tried to, there's been a roadblock, there's been a rivalry. I get it. But I think it would have, for the core WWE wrestling fans, it would have been more impactful. Similar to Daniel Bryan. He beat Cena. What happened? He got cashed in on.
By Randy, yeah.
If Sami Zayn won and beat Gunther because he's done it before for a different title, and Seth cashed in on him and won, I wouldn't be surprised if people at MetLife cried. Because that is more impactful than Seth being petty with CM Punk. Like, either you'll never be champion or you'll have it and then you'll lose it.
Yeah.
But this, because the thing is, like, that means that something evolved in the story. You actually accomplished what you said you were. But this chase, it's old. It's old. And now if he goes through another period of, every time I get an opportunity, it doesn't work out. And it's like, now he starts to have doubt. It's like, maybe I can't do it. You can't. You can't.
Well, maybe no, you cannot. Sit your ass down.
You're not going to be a top merch seller. You're just not.
You're not.
You're going to be an underdog as champion.
You're not
bro.
him.
You're not Rey Mysterio.
You're not him.
You're not. You're not.
And there's so many people now that in wrestling, and it hurts. It hurts me to say this, but it's like maybe Sammy's time has passed to the point where, similar to, and I made this comparison with you before, and you didn't really like it, but I compared Sammy to Bailey, where it was like maybe the women's division has passed Bailey up. Maybe the men's division is about to pass Sammy up, because here's the thing. You got people that don't even really have shots yet. Like Andrade is in a tag team, but Andrade by himself, he's pretty good. You got Carmelo going to come back soon. You got Ilya Dragunov, who literally is on Raw. And when he comes back, he is going to get a reaction that I probably never think he will get. He's going to get a super big reaction, especially if WWE starts building. I don't know if they should do vignettes for him, or if they should. You know how they have like vignettes where you don't know who it is. You're like, oh, okay, who is this? You gotta question who it is. Or hell, even we know who it is, but you just don't know when he's going to come back per se, like how they did with Bray Wyatt.
I don't want to talk about Sammy. I'm done. I don't want to talk about Sammy. He doesn't need to be near a world title, and if he ever wins the championship, I need this to be Money in the Bank season where someone has a briefcase. He's not going to have a long reign. There are way too many male superstars that are better than him. I don't want Sammy to win the Royal Rumble. I don't care where it is.
Ooh.
I really want to get to the point where the fans kind of feel the way that we do, and there's someone else and they boo him. Like, wouldn't it be crazy that they kind of pull like I want to say it was a Roman winning the Rumble.
Mm.
I'm trying to think if it was Roman Batista that were the last two. I can't remember, but
Yeah, I think it was Roman versus Batista. Yeah,
like,
because
couldn't
they
you
were already
imagine?
mad about who's going to win it anyway. So
True. But could you imagine? Obviously, this would not happen with how stacked it is, but we're in a world where it's Sammy and Karrion Kross. Sammy wins and they boo Sammy.
My bad. I'm sorry. It wasn't Batista when Roman won it. It was Rusev. But when Rusev came back, people were cheering for Rusev to win.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Because technically, and I think I've said this before on the pod, Royal Rumble being in Saudi Arabia, if any time to win a Royal Rumble for Sami Zayn, it'll be now. But has the sizzle died down to where it's like we don't care anymore? Like if he wins it, it's like, okay.
Yes, because I mean, you're looking at Roman and Seth, and what is going to be Sammy versus Cody?
Gosh.
And then Sammy's going to beat Cody. That also doesn't really work because I feel like his character is just stuck where he has to beat a heel.
Yeah.
Bro, I mean, if it's Sammy and Cody, I want Cody to retain.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm not trying to have Cody lose 2 WrestleManias in a row.
I just feel like like I said, the only way for him to do it is he has to turn heel. If he wins the Rumble, Jey Uso better be champion, and he better turn heel.
Yeah, but which championship is gonna be available for that to happen?
Jey Uso would have to win the World Heavyweight Championship, which he's not going to be Seth. Yeah, that's the thing. So
Seth has a faction. His faction is powerful.
Yeah.
Even if they don't add another person, like with those two, the only way that Seth loses the title is if the person he's facing has help or everyone's barred from ringside. Or it's that loophole where B and B are barred from ringside. Bless you.
Thank you.
But that's how a new member is revealed.
That's what I was thinking. This week is going to happen.
That's the only way.
Yeah. All right. We're done talking about Sammy. I'm done talking about him. Really quick on NXT, they're going to have Trick versus Javon at NXT Philadelphia. The winner of that is going to, I believe, go to NXT Heatwave and face Obafemi. So obviously, I'm rooting for a Javon Evans win. I think Trick doesn't really need to win. I think it's his time to put over Javon Evans one-on-one. I just feel like Trick just needs to, TNA Trick and A is a thing now. I hope he stays TNA champion. I would like him to stay TNA champion for a while. Obviously, I want Santana to beat him, but it should have happened in New York. I don't know if they're going to hold it for a little bit longer, but we'll see how long that goes.
I think Santana beats him.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's going to beat him, but it should have happened in New York. I just feel like sometimes
I was very surprised he didn't lose it in New York.
Yeah, there's sometimes where you just gotta go with the star that's from there. I hate that. I don't like when you have a person that's from there and they're in a championship match and then they don't win it. It's like, what's the point?
Right. No, I feel you.
Yeah, there's no sense. And I like Trick. Trick is my man, but I don't know. But we'll see. I think you agree with that, right? That you want Javon Evans versus Oba at NXT Heatwave.
I mean, I do. My point or my position stays the same. As long as Javon is the one who beats Oba, I'm happy.
Yeah.
That to me is the moment that if they don't do it, then at this point, it's gonna be oh boy, it's gonna be one of the superheroes from the Avengers.
Galactus.
It's gonna be some villain from a horror movie. It's gonna be some villain in, like, I don't know. I mean, it's a good problem to have only because Oba's always on TV,
Mm-hmm.
and this is not a Cena thing of like '08 where it's like, oh my gosh, like people who legit should win are not beating you.
Yeah.
Oh, Super Oba always kicking out at 2. It's like it's almost similar to when Roman was champ. There were very few times where it felt like he should have lost. But when you kind of take a step back out of that specific program, you're like, nah, Roman, even though I may be tired of it, I may not like how he retains, but he probably should have kept the title.
Agreed.
If it's not Javon, then really who?
Honestly, because like who else is on the men's NXT roster that's even worth a damn? I think.
Yeah, Brock would have to go to NXT.
Oh, why would you? All right, this is 4TL Wrestling. It's your boy Flex Washington. That shooting star. We're out of this piece. Goodbye. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? We're still recording. Golly, bro. Why would you say that? You're giving WWE dumb ideas. He didn't say that. Redacted. That was redacted. We're going to take that away. We're going to get rid of that. We're not going to say that ever again. Lord forgive him for what he just said. You think this is funny?
Because it's not going to happen.
Stop saying it's not going to happen. Because when you hear in NXT and all those little 17 NXT fans go wild,
Yo, that's disrespectful.
I'm going to call you up and I'm going to tell you I don't want to ever speak to you ever again. Because the Brock taking the championship from the black person is going to be a real thing. Jeez. Don't even speak it to existence. We're not even going to book that. What I was going to say is that Obafemi might have to be the type that he just, and you're not going to like the way he ends it, but he might just have to just give up the title. Be like, all right, I'm done. I beat all your people. I'm going to the main roster now. Or
you know what? I think he should kind of pull a Kevin Owens and bring it to the main roster with him. The same way that Kevin Owens was facing Cena while he was NXT champ. Do that. Because at that point, then you kind of get the feeling, all right, his title reign's coming to an end. He beat a main roster superstar. Okay. Now we see the transition. Because if Oba loses, you still have questions. Is he staying in NXT or is he being called up? Because for me, I don't think, sure, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but I don't see anything wrong with doing something different that isn't necessarily bad. So what if Oba came to the main roster and was like, I'm literally here because I need better competition. Right, nobody could beat me in NXT. I'm bored. I relinquished the championship.
There you go.
If those are the only two options. Javon beats him, and if Javon beats him, which, to be honest with you, this is not even like fantasy booking. This is just a prediction, which, based off of how everything else I've said so far this year has not panned out. Please give me this one. But if Javon beats him, cool. If Javon does not beat him, then I don't want anyone else to, and I want him to go to the main roster with it. And whether he crashes out, kind of like how Seth crashed out during NXT to demand Triple H to like show face, I think Oba should just be like, I need better competition. I need clearly I'm better than anyone here. Maybe
I
he
think
does
it's a
an
rule.
open challenge on the main roster for the
Yeah.
NXT title. Maybe that's what it is, and then that superstar now ends up being like the NXT champion, and then they kind of swap places.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean he could do the whole, the ruler needs more to rule. And I've ruled over NXT and now I'm about to rule
I
over
need a bigger
WWE.
kingdom.
Yeah, I need a bigger kingdom. Yeah. So we'll definitely see. But like I said, I'm hoping I would like Javon Evans to win. I think there's gonna be a big moment when he does win it.
Absolutely.
Because I know whatever movie's going to end it with is going to be he's going to be in the air for about 10 seconds.
Oh, that needs to be a top 10 match of the year. That's the other thing too. The same way that Roman lost his title to Cody, and say what you want, because I personally liked the 39 match more from beginning to end, but the theatrics of 40 made it like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, of course.
That match needs to be top 10 because you're not just gonna hold the title for that long, lose it, and everyone's just like, well, Javon won, but the match was aight. That would be a letdown. Like, the fact that you're holding on to the title, you're building up for when you lose it too.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah,